as a gender, what we can do once we acknowledge this and bring this forward and stand together in understanding, we can move mountains with it.
There's a lot going on in the world today around gender shifting and understanding our genders. When we think about women, what truly defines feminine values?
This is kind of my life path. And I don't want to just say this is what it is, because that's kind of what we are used to as women, to go out there and find our identity or find out how the world is defining us. I've noticed that when I've talked with women about this, that when we have been in groups, I've been in numerous women's groups because there's such a love and support there. I started sharing years ago that, you know what, I just don't want to do all the time. I was such a doer. And I was so tired of it, but I didn't know how to stop. So I shared that with my women. And they all went, you know, me too, me too. So there was this agreement or this acceptance that we just wanted to learn to be first and stop all the doing. Now, I know you can't stop doing because the world needs to keep going, but we gave each other and ourselves permission to find out what happens when I'm just being. Mm-hmm. And what happens is that all this stuff comes up that you have to do. Right? So there was this all these layers, like, but I have to do this, and you know, I can't just be, what are people going to say about me? So there's all these things that had to be emptied out first. And what most of us came to naturally was that there is a place of just being, and in that, I feel as a feminine, I am receptive. I'm not one who drives and projects into the world. I'm somebody who is more receptive, receiving from spirit, from the inside. I start listening deeper to what is my truth. And what comes out of that is I care about people. I want to be in community. That's where I feel that feminine energy can express itself, when we are in touch with it, when we dare to listen to it, and when we dare to be in the world. Be in the world, right? Not do in the world.
I would say I love what you just said. It's very beautiful. And I think also it's that energy of the heart, the strength of the heart, and being able to communicate from that place of the heart. Where is women's truth but stored in the heart region? And I think one of the things we're lacking sometimes in our society is a sense of the feminine divine, because we live in a society where all spirituality tends to be patriarchal, or at least dominated by a patriarchal culture. In finding that sense of the feminine divine, which is in all cultures, in the Judaic Christian culture, in Islam, we have these mystical elements of religion, and in some of those mysticisms also lies great feminine power and value. And I think that helps us to be in touch with those things, helps us to see our value, our place in the world as spiritual beings, not as subservients, but as whole and integral beings. And also to notice and cherish those things that sometimes we might deem as feminine values in our culture, like caring, loving, nurture, raising children, and sometimes we see those things as weak. There's huge strength in those things.
I love that. You know, I think when you speak of women's values, we are so beautiful. We hold within us compassion and empathy and this ability to care and see things as people can't see them. We can see them differently. Mm-hmm. The thing is when that gets shut down, but it's in us and we own it, and it's bigger than we hold and what we can see. What is interesting to me is that as a gender, what we can do once we acknowledge this and bring this forward and stand together in understanding, we can move mountains with it. But it's getting back to the basics. It's getting back to understanding us again, not what's happening in the workplace, which is where I think a lot of the competition and what happens and trying to gain our equality and can happen by us understanding our values a little clearer and respecting them.
Well, you know, as I'm listening to you talk, I'm editing the final version of a book on gender differences. You know, many more Men Are From Mars type books. And my editor is a woman editor, and I was just talking about female values in it, female qualities, female side of who we are. And of course, it's all about we have a male and female side. However, we need to, if you're a man, you have to respect your male biology, and that's where you come from, supported by your female qualities. And for a woman, she comes from her femininity, supported by her masculine qualities. And some women are going to have more masculine qualities, some are going to have less, some men are going to have more feminine qualities. So their challenge, if you have more feminine qualities as a man, is you can lose touch with your male side. Yeah. And you get real needy and weak and wimpy and argumentative and sensitive, and things hurt your feelings a lot. And women sometimes go to their male side too much, and they'll become overwhelmed. I have to do, like you're talking, you know, I'm always doing. Well, that's the male side of us. But when guys aren't strong on their male side, they're kind of like, I don't have anything to do. So we want to find our balance, and we have to honor our biology and yet express all of our qualities.
So clearly what you're hearing today is that valuing the feminine is what gives us all balance to our lives. If you feel like your life is out of balance, you're too far on your masculine side, too far on your feminine side, listen to what the panels had to say, rewind this video, watch it again, and you'll learn something.